Hello, I'm Janine Lenouette, and I teach screenwriting. There are many ways to analyze a scene. I'm going to show you one way, by tracking the power balance between the characters. Generally speaking, at any given point in a scene, one character has the power, but the power can shift in the course of the scene. I'm going to show you how this was done in a scene from the 1985 film Mona Lisa, written by Neil Jordan and David Leland, and directed by Neil Jordan. George is a small-time hood who just got out of jail, where he did 7 years for his boss. He tries to visit his now 15-year-old daughter, who doesn't know him, and is thrown out by her mother. He throws a garbage can at the house and almost gets in a fistfight with some neighborhood toughs, but is rescued by his friend Thomas. He wonders aloud why there are so many Jamaicans in his old neighborhood. Thomas tells him they live here now. He goes to get his old job back and is assigned to drive around a prostitute, Simone, who is also black. The first night they work together, they are like oil and water. Nonetheless, she gives him some money to buy a better set of clothes. He shows up the next night wearing his new purchases.
Erstmal die Berge raus. Wie braun du bist.
Ja, schon sehr, nicht?
No.
Ja, ich bin ja auch schon vor 2 Jahren angekommen. Ja, ja. Deswegen freue ich mich, dass ich mich endlich wiedersehe.
Ich hab den Anschluss verpasst in Basel.
What do you think?
Jesus.
You don't like them?
To you.
Well, I bought them, didn't I?
You bought them all right.
Here. This is challenge.
Not here. For Jesus' sake.
Got as much cover as a pair of fishnet tights. I may as well be wearing a sign around my neck. Oh, all you're missing is the gold medallion.
You don't like them either?
Fucking hate them.
Right. See, I'm cheap. I can't help it. God made me that way.
Being cheap is one thing. Looking cheap is another. That really takes talent.
Some women are whores, some whores are black. You take what you're given, don't you? I didn't ask to drive you around. I was given you. Same as you was giving me. The only difference is you complain and I don't.
Turn it off.
No.
You heard me. Turn it off.
Look, you asked me to buy clothes, I buy them. But you make remarks. Did anybody ever teach you manners?
Do you want to work for me?
No. Get out. Get fucking out, baby. Now tell me I'm fired.
All right, you're fired.
Lovely. I'm fired and you're street walking. Fuck off.
You swine. Go screw yourself.
Oh, get out. Hey!
Piss off.
Look, come on! Look, come on! You can't stand in the middle of the road, you're gonna get run over! Come on, please. Please, I'm sorry. All right, I've wasted your money, I look ridiculous, I'm sorry.
You don't look that bad.
Well, bad enough. Get in the car, madame.
We're late.
All right, I'm sorry. We're gonna get run over here. Where'd you want to go?
Up to Highgate.
Who has the power in this scene? Simone does. Foremost because George is working for her. But in addition, he's been away for several years and is therefore a little clueless. Plus, she's more adapted to this high-class environment. In fact, the scene begins with 3 visual indicators of just how low-class George is. So the first is her double take at his Hawaiian shirt and fake leather jacket, not exactly blending in with the crowd. The second is when he waves broadly to get her attention. And the third is waving the money around. Then he punctuates the whole thing by putting his cigarette out at the table of a well-dressed gentleman. Another big no-no. I'm going to subtitle this next bit, because the accents are a little thick.
You're as much cover as a pair of fishnet tights. I may as well be wearing a sign around my neck. Oh, all you're missing is the gold medallion.
You don't like them either.
Fucking hate them.
Right.
So we learn what's at stake for Simone, which is that she must remain undercover in these high-class hotels. We also see, once again, how far off base George is.
See, I'm cheap. I can't help it. God made me that way.
Being cheap is one thing. Looking cheap is another. That really takes talent.
Here we see efficiently communicated in only 2 lines of dialogue that they have completely opposing worldviews. George is a product of the British class system, which says whatever class you're born into is where you will remain. Being working class, George was born cheap, and he accepts that. Simone, on the other hand, is of the immigrant class, and therefore upwardly mobile. She too has no illusions about being cheap. She's a prostitute after all. For her, the cardinal sin is showing it. If you're going to move up in the world, the first thing you must do is not let on who you really are.
Some women are whores, some whores are black. You take what you're given, don't you?
So his true feelings come out. He doesn't like that she's black, which means he considers her even lower class than he is, and he's resentful of having to work for her.
I didn't ask to drive you around, I was given you. Same as you was given me. The only difference is you complain and I don't.
He then expresses again the working class ethic that you must accept your lot in life without complaint.
Turn it off.
No.
You heard me. Turn it off.
Okay, who has the power now? Clearly, George does. He grabs it away from Simone by turning on the radio. What's important to note here is that the power is transferred on an action. One way we know this is that she immediately tells him to turn it off. This is how she tries to get the power back.
Look, you asked me to buy clothes, I buy it. But you make remarks. Did anybody ever teach you manners?
Now he's consolidating his power by asserting his superiority. He does what he's told, like a good working class guy. But she makes rude remarks, a sure sign of having no class at all.
You want to work for me?
But she'll have none of this. She goes straight to the bottom line, again trying to get the power back.
No. Get out. Get fucking out, baby. Now tell me I'm fired.
All right, you're fired.
Lovely. I'm fired and you're street walking.
So his power is complete, and she is helplessly fending for herself.
You swine.
For me, this is a weak moment, since his internal transition from rage to compassion is not represented externally. Imagine if, instead, in the grip of rageful driving, he almost hits a nearby pedestrian, which startles him and fills him with remorse. Then, he sees Simone struggling in the street with cars all around her. This would provide an external cause for his internal shift. As done here, the shift is somewhat arbitrary. But the point is that he does have a change of heart, which causes him to come back around the roundabout to get her out of her jam and apologize.
Piss off.
Look, come on.
Who has the power now? And she's making sure he knows that by telling him to get lost. Once again, the power has shifted on an action. If he had just kept driving, he would have continued to have the power. By coming around again, he is giving the power back to her.
You don't look that bad.
So she concedes a bit. Then she barks at him,
We're late.
All right, I'm sorry.
and their old equilibrium is restored.
We're gonna get run over here. Where'd you want to go?